My name is Guillermo Garcia Sanchez, and I'm a professor at Texas A&M University School of Law, where I teach and research in the area of international economic law, specifically trade, investment, and energy, and my area of research is the North American region, also known as the USMCA region, Canada, Mexico, and the United States. In an effort to curb migration and the entry of illegal drugs into the United States, the Trump administration has proposed to impose a 25% tariff across all imports coming into the United States and Canada. It is important to put into context that Mexico and Canada represent close to 30% of all trade done by the United States. This actually has a very important impact in specific sectors. For example, trade with Mexico represents close to 23% of all agricultural imports done by the United States. Trade with Canada represents close to 50% of all crude oil that is imported into the United States. So an immediate tariff of 25% on our two biggest partners is going to have an inflationary effect. Why? Because tariffs are put on the importer, not the exporter. It is the companies that are importing those goods into the States, the ones who will have to pay for that 25% tariffs. Now, one of the things that also gets lost in the debate about tariffs is that many of the imported goods into the United States are actually not Canadian or Mexican goods. To give you an example, close to 38% of an auto that is imported from Mexico has components that were actually originated in the United States. So it's not really a Mexican car, it's a North American car. The economy between the United States, Mexico, and Canada, the trade that happens, 50% of them are components to create ultimate goods that then get exported around the globe. Our economies are so integrated that putting a block on one of these components is going to immediately raise prices and is immediately going to make less competitive companies around the globe. And what we really need to be thinking about in this new global economy and the new global competition between the United States and China is how do we create a North American region that is more competitive, where the investments can rely on long-term projects, and where the three countries are actually thinking together, how do we become a North American region that can compete in this new globalized world where new technologies are coming along, where new nearshoring is happening, bringing a lot of the technology that was originally being produced in China and in Southeast Asia into the region in order to make us more competitive. One of the other aspects of trade wars is that once you put a tariff on your partners can then retaliate putting tariffs on their own. And that starts increasing again the cost for everyone. Would Mexico and Canada be hurt more than the United States by the tariffs? Absolutely, there is no question. Close to 90% of Mexican exports go into the United States. Close to 76% of Canadian exports come to the United States. These two countries are going to be impacted enormously by the trade. But can they retaliate with their own tariffs? Absolutely. There are a lot of products that American companies export both to Canada and Mexico that can be hurt also by the tariffs, and that is again going to impact these companies from being able to be more competitive, because now they're going to be losing market access into Canada and Mexico. Also, there are very few tariffs that you can put on that are not going to affect at some point or another the supply chains that we talked about earlier. Again, most of the trade that is done between the United States and Canada, close to 50%, it's about micro components that are being used in order to assemble finalized products in one of the three economies. My research focuses on international economic law, and specifically in this region, the North American region or the USMCA region. And why do I care about this particular topic? Because I believe that the economy, even though we might think that it's a very technical topic, actually has trickle effects on our everyday lives, in the products that we consume, in the labor market, but also in geopolitics. How competitive is the United States going to be will depend highly on its trading partners like Mexico and Canada in order to help us become an economy that is going to transition to the next level of production. Like, for example, AI, technology, microchip, micro-components. All of the companies that are being relocated from China and from Asia into the North American region are thinking about these topics. Where should I settle? Should I go to Mexico? Should I go to Canada? Should I go to the United States? And what are the opportunities to make those products more competitive in a way that, again, the North American region can compete in a globalized economy that is rapidly changing and rapidly becoming more competitive?